Welcome to Aptitude for Placements, and my name is Ranjit. I have conducted this aptitude training program at various engineering colleges all over India, and every year thousands of students get placed by attending this aptitude training program. Here you will find all the questions that are commonly encountered in most of the aptitude tests. These are the questions that keep on repeating in many of these tests. So just familiarize yourself with all these questions and you will have a clear advantage when you attempt your actual placement test. Let's start. Let us start with the topic time and work. Now we look at some typical questions that come under the topic time and work. Now a typical question will be like this. Now that's a person A. Now if A is working alone, A can do a job in 3 days. So if A is working alone, he can complete the job in 3 days. Now there's another person called B. B can complete the same job in 2 days. So if B is working alone, he can complete the same job in 2 days. Now assume that A and B are working together. If A and B are working together, then in how many days can they complete the work? So they are working together or they are working jointly, then the number of days required. That is the question. Now before we attempt that question, let us look at this once again. A can do a job in 3 days, which means that every day A will do 1/3 of the work. So on the first day A will do 1/3 of the work. Second day A will do 1/3 of the work. Third day also 1/3, and in 3 days he'll complete 3/3 or the whole job he'll complete in 3 days. That is how A completes the job in 3 days. So you can see that the part of the work done per day and the number of days required, they are reciprocals of each other. So A can do a job in 3 days means every day A will do 1/3 of the work. Like that he will complete the whole job in 3 days. So the number of days required and the part of the work done per day, they are reciprocals of each other. Now A can do a job in 25 days. Then it means that every day he will do 1/25th of the work. And like that in 25 days he will complete the job. So the number of days required and the part of the work done per day, they are reciprocals of each other. A person can do a job in 75 days. Then every day 1/75th of the work will be done. Like that he'll complete the whole job in 75 days. So in this case A and B are working together or they are working jointly. So every day A will do 1/3 of the job. On the first day A will do 1/3 of the job and B will do half of the job. So if they are working together, every day they will do 5/6 of the job. So if they're working together, every day 5/6 of the work is done. So how many days are required? Just find out the reciprocal. That will be 6/5 days. That is same as 1 and 1/5 days. That is same as 1.2 days will be required. That is every day 5/6 of the work is done. Then how many days are required? Just find out the reciprocal, 6/5 days. That is if A is working alone, every day A will do 1/3 of the work. How many days are required? Just find out the reciprocal, that will be 3 days. Similarly, if they are A and B are working, every day 5/6 of the work is done. How many days are required? Just find out the reciprocal, 6/5 days. That is same as 1 and 1/5 days or 1.2 days. So the number of days required and the part of the work done per day, they are reciprocals of each other. Now in many of the questions, we can represent work in man hours. That is in man hours or man days. Then we will get the answer very fast. That is in many of the questions. So we'll see how to represent work as man hours or man days. Now a certain work needs to be done. Now a work can be completed if 5 men work for 10 days. A work can be completed if 5 men work for 10 days. So we'll just represent this work in man hours or man days. That is 5 men need to work for 10 days. So 5 men into 10 days, magnitude of the work can be taken as 50. Magnitude is same as quantity. How much work is there? The whole work can be taken as 50. That is, 5 men need to work for 10 days. So 5 men into 10 days, 5 into 10, 50 is the whole job. Now, a work can be completed if 5 men work for 10 days. Now, what actually happened is just 2 men came and they worked for 5 days and left. Then, what part of the work will be done? Now, the whole job is 5 men need to work for 10 days. Now, the actual amount of work that was done is just 2 men worked for 5 days. So 2 into 5, 2 men working for 5 days. So 2 men into 5 days, 10 is done out of 50. That is same as 1/5 of the work will be done. So this is how we can represent work in man hours or man days. Now a work can be completed if 5 men work for 10 days. So whole job is 5 men need to work for 10 days. Now what happened is 25 men came and they worked for just 1 day and left. Then what part of the work will be done in that 1 day? Whole job is 5 men need to work for 10 days. Magnitude of the work that is done is 25 men work for 1 day. So 25 out of 50 or half of the work will be done. Let us take one more example. A work can be completed if 5 men work for 10 days. So 5 men into 10 days, that's a whole job. Now what happened is just one person came. One person, he continuously works for 25 days. Then what part of the work will be done? That is one person working for 25 days. So 1 into 25 is done out of a total of 5 into 10, 50. So 25 out of 50 or half of the work will be done. So this is how you can represent work in man hours or man days. Now let us look at some typical questions which can be done by representing work in man hours or man days. A typical question will be like this. Let us say M1 men are there, a certain number of men are there. Now if they work for D1 number of days, then the work will be completed. Now you have M2 men are there. They have to work for how many days to complete the job? So from this equation you can solve and calculate the number of days required. So this is a typical question which will come under time and work. Or another question will be M1 men need to work for D1 days to complete a work. Now the work has to be completed in D2 days. So how many men will be required? So it can be, this is also another equation. So out of these 4 variables, any one variable will be unknown and that can be solved. So this is a typical question which can be done by representing work in man hours or man days. Now in some of the questions you will have to represent work in man hours like this. In some other questions you will have to represent work as a part of the whole job. So depending upon the question you have to attempt the questions. Let me briefly explain how to prepare for your aptitude test. First of all, you need to familiarize yourself with all the questions that have been worked out here. These are the questions that keep on repeating in many of the aptitude tests. After that, you need to attempt practice tests. According to me, you need to attempt at least 10 practice tests before your actual placement test. Here, I will be giving you 10 practice tests, and these practice tests will be ideal for you to improve your test scores. The 10 practice tests are available at a cost of only Rs 200. So all that you need to do is make a payment of Rs 200 either through Google Pay or through PhonePe or through Paytm, and you will receive the 10 practice tests. The details of the payment comes next.